Okay. So this was going to be a kind of edited video that I was going to do, but I haven't had time to actually get it prepared. So I'm going to kind of just sit here for a second, let it kind of just say what I need to say. Um Ideas for a RWBY, well, anything. Just these are just ideas off the top of my head. Um an idea for RWBY, and Rooster Teeth, feel free to use these because I feel like that they would be very beneficial. Number one, a RWBY After the Fall movie. Just like how y'all produced the first 3 seasons of RWBY in theaters, uh, I would really like to see an actual RWBY movie based off of the books or some sort of like, well, anything, because I think that would be really interesting to see. You see like a new version of the animation, your new fighting styles and choreography, new music that you would have for the soundtrack of the movie, and it would give us a way of seeing the actors in the who we don't rarely get to see. We can get flashbacks and other things for like Team Coffee and everything. I think actually I would be really interested in watching the book for a movie and seeing how you guys would do as a choreographed fight scenes and stuff like that, kind of rehashing the old kind of Monty flair with your kind of new red versus blue combat animation that you guys were doing with Red versus Blue Zero, but more emphasis on the story than or more emphasis on how the book was, and not trying to just go super action oriented without actually having a real meaning behind it than just blind animation. I think it would be pretty cool to have to see some sort of form of that movie, of that book into a movie in theaters again, to give people hype for the next seasons and stuff like that, to show what's been going on through it all. It would be interesting. I don't know about the Torchwick and the Neo book yet. I haven't read it, but I know I've heard a review on it. But I think that it would be pretty cool to see Before the Dawn and After the Fall as two different movies for RWBY. And a RWBY video game. And yes, I know we've got several RWBY video games, but seriously, there have been some very like boring RWBY video games in the past couple of years. I liked to see Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle RWBY, but we only got 5 characters out of the whole RWBY cast to be into that movie. I mean, sorry, still on the other one. To be in that game, like if they had like a kind of Blaze Blue style, but it was a RWBY full on game, I'd play it. It'd be interesting to see how that dynamic would be. But I think more on the lines of like I like the format of Grim Eclipse, but there wasn't much content there. It's like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, and then there's not much to do there, but it's a good overall story. But then you get Xenoverse 2, where it's just like, okay, you've got loads of content, loads of story lore, and you've got other stuff to play dress up in. Which, if you had like a RWBY RPG or MMO RPG or something like that, where it's kind of like Shinobi Strikers, where you can create your own character, and or it's just the RWBY team, and you can play with everybody from the show, and they have like their own unique genres. Like you've got tank, you've got DPS, you've got range, and then you've got healing and support, pretty much. and you got specific characters that fit all those criterias and categories, which would be pretty interesting for any team dynamics or mashup. Plus, you could get like their different costumes and stuff like that to kind of change up the scenery of everything. But I wouldn't mind seeing a kind of how you would do a RWBY game like that, or just another beat 'em up kind of game, but kind of going with the format of like you're playing the RWBY storyline, kind of like how they used to do when new cool movies would come out. Like a week or two later, they have a trailer of the video game of that movie for some reason popping out of nowhere, like they did with Iron Man, Van Helsing, and so on. Uh, Me, I'm big into character customization, so I would love to make my own RWBY character. And like, like one of the big things in it would be the Vital Festival, and it's got like a chance to represent whatever kingdom that you're in. So your character starts out with the school uniform of whatever kingdom that they live at. So you can have the Atlas suit blazers. Then you've got more military kind of suits kind of thing that they're doing. Then you've got Mistral's kind of more traditional, lenient kind of blazers, and then you've got Beacon's kind of suit and ties, and then you've got Vacuo's. I have no idea because I don't think I've seen Vacuo's dress code. I think that would be a pretty cool idea for RWBY. It's not much to go off of, but it's something, Or I mean, I can see the comic books and I can see the RWBY chibis and all that other stuff, but we, obviously for the past almost 2 to 3 years now, we haven't seen much of RWBY content lately, and that's okay. I've actually wanted Rooster Teeth to kind of, back up from RWBY for a little while and try to, have some more time to do things because, well, obviously we're about to come out with a new 2D RWBY series coming out, which I can't wait for. And I just would think that seeing this kind of 3D animated movie of Team Coffee with like new suit designs, new outfit designs and stuff like that would be interesting. Like seeing like maybe Coco still has her beret and her glasses, but her outfit is different. And maybe her hair design is a tad bit new. Maybe her hair grew out a little bit more, but she still has that one strand of hair that's long. And maybe their clothes don't need to change that much, but they need to look like they've actually like changed over the years. That's most of the time what costume changes are doing in any kind of anime or genre of any kind, because it's like it shows progress, and that's one of the reasons why pretty much Blake cut her hair. But I still feel like I like the long hair Blake better. But it is what it is. Her model looks kind of iffy for the 3D model, but the promotional 2D art concept art for her looks pretty cool with the short hair. But to them, to their own, either or, it's still cool, and I like to see more progression and stuff like that, and seeing that would be very interesting to the story, well, at least for me anyway. So that's all I have to say to the what would be interesting and cool ideas for RWBY thus far, and I hope this helps in some way. You guys take care and have a good day.